believe in it, to support it, to sponsor it, and to grow it. And certainly that's a boon for wrestling, no doubt about that. On to the second half we go. Reese Stephen will go at 165 pounds for Kent State. He is a redshirt freshman, 5-1 on the season so far from Barnesville, Ohio. And he is taking on Paddy Gallagher, Chesterland, Ohio native from Lakewood St. Ed's. And we begin the second half here at the 165-pound weight class. Buckeyes looking to keep the shutout going. Kent State Golden Flash is trying to get on the board.
Paddy's a two-time state champ, but almost more impressive was the fact that he's a four-year letterman at St. Ed's, which is crazy. But
cracking that lineup as a freshman is no mean feat. Gallagher trying to hold center here. Paddy's always been, the talent certainly is there. He's been beset throughout his career by injuries. Gallagher, a redshirt senior. If he can stay healthy, make it through the season. We talked earlier about at 125 pounds where they've gone back and forth between McCrone and Bazakis. Both of those guys getting some time. They're also getting some rest. Sometimes you wonder when a guy's had a lot of injuries. If we get into the back half of this Buckeyes lineup, there's a lot of that. This guy, the next guy, Carson Hartzler, he's had more than his share of injuries. Luke Geog will not be in the lineup tonight at 197 pounds, currently injured. And so sometimes you have to protect guys from themselves.
Well, yeah, when you have the riches of depth, sometimes that could hurt you in the wrestling room where none of these Bulldogs are going to back down from
That's
one
right.
another. Yeah, you might have to, I'm sure Coach has to skillfully go through his practice plan to make sure that some days they're not as much live action.
There's a shot from distance for Gallagher. Gets to both legs. And a clean finish for the takedown. 3-0 Gallagher on top here in the first period. Just over a minute to go. We've not seen the Buckeyes outside of really McCrone in the second period of his match do a lot of riding. It's been mostly neutral wrestling, and Gallagher will go that same route.
I think with the value of that of the takedown, going from 2 to 3, just the emphasis of wrestling on your feet. Another thing I noticed about the Ohio State is where their positioning is on the mat. Like, they don't really care where they're. Like, some coaches want you to have your heels towards the edge of the mat. These guys are aggressive all the time. It's almost like, and you mentioned it, one part of your body has to be in, so that changes things a little bit as well. But, all those little rule nuances almost feels like it changes the strategies a little bit.
Well, we just saw there Paddy Gallagher taking ground, was able to induce a stall call against Stephen.
Seemed like in the duels, I bet you the stall calls, it was almost like 4-1. Like, this Ohio State team just goes at you. They almost force you into stalls.
And that's something, obviously, you want to emphasize, certainly, and be in the attack position, take ground. Gallagher trying to take some ground here near the edge. And, again, wants to finish inbounds. Time expires before any takedown is awarded. But also there is a reputational gain when you are on the attack. I mean, how many years has Iowa gotten the better of stalling calls because of the Iowa attack style? And the home crowd at duels, of course, certainly helps.
No doubt.
But you gain a reputation for being aggressive, for not backing up, for trying to induce action.
Sure.
Sometimes
the referees do start to tend to.
Maybe it's 5 times a year
that
it buys you a call, but those are 5 valuable points.
No doubt. I would say for Reese Stephen going into the second period down 3-1 might be a win for Coach Moore.
Quick hip heist and sit out from Gallagher. Gallagher earns an escape point.
In that final against Iowa, Paddy Gallagher wrestles number 2 Calindo and lost it in overtime. Actually gave up the first takedown of the match. I think Coach Ryan made him walk back to Columbus. Because giving up a takedown to the number 2 guy in the.
Well, listen, you look at Paddy's record over his Ohio State career, 53-27. It doesn't jump off the page. But this is a guy who is right there with the top-tier wrestlers, and now in on a shot. Stephen trying to get a takedown of his own and possibly tie this match up. Gallagher doesn't lose a lot of matches that make you shake your head. He still is just trying to take that last quarter step to consistently win the matches against top-tier competition. And when you wrestle at a Big Ten school, guess who you're wrestling most of the time? Is that top-tier competition. Doesn't matter if you're at Ohio State or any of the Big Ten schools. When you're talking about conference duels, Big Ten tournament, open tournaments with other Big Ten teams, there's an athletic move from Paddy Gallagher, not able to finish the takedown as of yet. And they're out of bounds.
Didn't want to give up on it, though, did he?
No, he did not. And they're actually going to award a stall point there for Steven moving off the mat. So that's his second stall warning. So Gallagher not awarded with the takedown, but does get the benefit of his forward motion with a stall point. And that's the difference between the Big Ten and most other conferences. There are other good conferences certainly in the country, but you're talking about the top 2 or 3 teams really being at that top tier level, whereas in the Big Ten, there are no softies.
No. Look at the duels. Look who's all finished up in the top portion. I think going into the weekend, eight Big Ten teams are ranked in the top 20. That's definitely a meat grinder there. But Reese, let's talk about Reese. Redshirt freshman, transferred from Cleveland State. Could be a nice little cornerstone wrestler here, for Kent State moving forward, especially getting great, matches like this. We talk about the prep for the MAC. Not that the MAC is any slouch, but certainly not a lot of Paddy Gallaghers roaming around the MAC.
Gets his escape, 5-2 score. Still a takedown difference match. So I think to your point, Steven hit for a couple of stall calls here, but he is game for this match. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Going in the third period with a minute and a half left and you're a takedown away from going into extra minutes that's strategically a good position.
For Kent State, we talked about the fact coming out of the break, the first half they didn't score any team points. They went 0-5 in matches. But even in the matches that turned out lopsided, I don't think there is a performance from any Kent State wrestler yet that you can look at and say, well, that guy wasn't ready. That guy wasn't prepared. That guy wasn't up to the moment. You just have to understand where these two teams are.
Yeah, until this roster gets beefed up, you got to. These matches are the best competition to get you ready for your MAC. I mean, that's all there's to it. I've said it, we said it before, but this is great right here for Reese Stephen.
He's wrestling now with Gallagher with his heels on the outside. Tried to shoot him off the match, but Paddy dug in his heels.
30 seconds remain.
30 seconds left in period number 3. 5-3 match. Gallagher on top. Takedown, escape, and a stall point. Couple of escapes for Steven. And we expected Carson Miller to go here, redshirt junior, a little bit banged up, so he's not in the lineup today for Kent State.
Yeah, Reese Stephen bumped up.
Yep.
Bumped up.
He's given up some size here, no doubt. So certainly he's acquitted himself well. But down to just under 5 seconds left on the clock. Doesn't look like he's going to find a way back into this match. Gallagher kills off the last 5 seconds and secures the 5-2 win against Steven. And 3 more team points for the Buckeyes, 26-0. After a 5-2 win for Paddy Gallagher at 165 pounds. And Paddy wrestled well in the first period. Looked like just kind of